Here we are, day 39, our last day. This is to Santiago. Got like something like 12 miles left. This is from our hotel room. It was okay last night. The downstairs rooms look like they get a little patio. It's a little bit chippy. It'll be a good walking day. Won't be hot. Morning of
Good morning!
day 39.
It's our last day
Our last day to Santiago.
on the trail. We thought it was going to be 40 days. I'm not sure what happened with that, but
bad
I think
math.
it's actually 39.
39.
So, unfortunately, but tomorrow will be the pilgrims mass, so we'll go to mass on 40 days.
Yeah. So we're gonna make it.
About 4 hours and 12 minutes.
Yeah. To Santiago.
12 miles.
Sun is kind of covered up a little bit today. Air temperature feels like about 60 something. 60, low 60s,
Yeah, it's
mid
nice and
60s.
cool this morning.
Coolish. So we'll have a nice coolish walk.
It's supposed to be full sun by about 5 o'clock in the evening. So maybe by the time we get to Santiago, it'll be coolish.
Yeah. Well, you know, it's interesting completing something that's such a long journey. There's a frighteningness about, like, okay, so I remember when I got baptized and I told the minister, this is in Mexico, probably like 30 years ago, and I said, I don't feel any different. And I think it's going to be like that when you get to Santiago. It's kind of like, okay, we did this thing, and it's not this big spiritual awakening. And I suppose there's
I think if you're waiting for a lightning bolt, forget it.
well, man, I don't think I'm really ready for it
You
either.
have to make a choice every single day, every single moment.
Now, the fact is, I've worked hard to get to like myself and create a life that I like. So I'm not struggling with, you know, some serious debilitating something that's keeping me back. So in that respect, but you know, who knows? I mean, I'll think about the Frenchman. It's kind of fun to be. Now what I'm working on are the videos, and so it's quite interesting to reflect back upon the trip and realize that, man, remember this part, remember that part. So we'll see how the adventure for today goes. Yeah, I think that's what it is about the Camino, is that it's a simple, but it's an adventure every day, and it may be sprinkled with interesting people that you'll meet because you're all collectively doing it together. You'll see some beautiful little sights, visual stimulation. Like every day is a different day. It's kind of like when you're at home, your reality and your routine becomes you pretty much start to forget what you see. And so on the Camino, every day is a different day. And so it's probably about almost 11 o'clock. We had a nice little stay in this town. Good enough. Couldn't quite get the temperature right. Still.
Santiago goes that way.
Yeah, it's kind of funny, you know. I've had something to say every day, and now I feel kind of not like I don't have as much to say. I did grow this out just to
Show his silver,
manifest there was a change. Manifest
Silverback nod.
No, it's more like you're not the same person that you started with, period. You know, I mean, the trick now will be to take something back, even if it's a small psychological shift.
Yeah, because sometimes small things generate larger things. You know, just by making one shift. It's one small shift that you actually can make.
See, that's what I think.
You know, that you actually can make and that you will make.
Yeah.
You know, I think Jordan Peterson says that. What's the one change that you can make that you will make? And then let that spiral.
Yeah, I mean,
because if you can make too big, and then you lose. You give up.
You lose the visual. So, yeah, I think that's what it is. Is that you know, and I would say the David guy, the Bohemian at the La Boheme, was, to me, was a very powerful person to meet on the Camino. He'd be like like one that did receive the light, if you will, and is doing the best that he can to follow that path. And
I would say,
I have a lot of respect, and that's encouraging for me to, you know, and so for, well, and I want to say that, you know, some may
don't self-sabotage.
Yeah, I
the
know.
Last 12 miles.
Yeah, I know. It's like it's
no
all,
injuries.
all falling apart. Oh no, I forgot.
Yeah,
what
for those of you, don't skip Santa Catalina. It's right after Astorga, which is kind of a
bigger
stage
town.
Stop.
Yeah.
And most people blow
Stay in
through
Stay in Santa Catalina.
Stay there, even if you have to do a shorter day or a longer day to get there.
Yeah.
It's so special. It's really neat people there.
Yeah.
Good vibe. It was really special for us there. That was my favorite stay.
Yeah, I would say so. That, well, the Astorga was really really cool little bigger city, where you could get lots of stuff, and it just feels. Places have a feel.
Yeah.
You know, a trail has a feel. I mean, think about it. This Camino has been, I don't know if it's been going on for thousands of years, but sheesh,
like
it's been
how many people have been down
1300s maybe.
And then
right?
it'll continue to come. I mean,
and will continue to come.
It's like,
yeah, like today's not so bad. You know, we don't have a horde of people, although I do find that we eventually will run into them. But
well, in the last 5 kilometers are through the city. So we're gonna hit the airport about halfway through, and then it's city walking. So this is the end of the real walking through the trail where it feels like a hike instead of a city walk. So
well, I'm gonna say to any viewers who maybe have taken a little bit of a negative to Melissa and I's approach. I mean, okay, we tend not to sugarcoat because that's not the purpose of what we're doing. We took a sailing trip, and although there's a culture of sailing on the Mediterranean in the Greek islands, you know, we gave you the reality, and it's not so romantic when you have no relationship with the skipper. You're staying in these stupid little ports, and basically I had one viewer, and he said, hey, thanks for taking the rose-colored glasses off. And so my intention is not to have a false positive, if you will, of how wonderful, look how spiritual we are. No, I'm trying to give as bare bones reality. And if somebody is taking a negative from it, then you need to do the Camino, or you need to do it backwards in reverse in a different way, because if you gravitated and you picked up a negative about two people doing the Camino, you missed the whole intention behind the Camino if you ever did it.
It's really easy, I think, in social media, whether it's pictures or film or whatever, we all know this. We all know it. That we put our best stuff forward. And
the fake.
I mean, all of my pictures and my posts through Facebook, I haven't done very many of them, or just for my very close friends and family. I don't have a wide net, but you know, they're the most beautiful. I've picked the most beautiful pictures, and I haven't posted anything negative. But you know, there's been a couple of fights and some days that were ugly, and some moments that I didn't feel my best.
Well, we didn't post all of that, but we did get some kind of a summary of it.
I think we spent a bit of time trying to make sense out of the way we were doing this compared to the way other people are doing this, and comparison is such a deadly thing to do, I think, in life. And but there was trying to make sense of it. Well, I never ever even considered doing this and sleeping in bunk beds. I just knew it wasn't my way. I knew it, and it doesn't mean that maybe I might come back and do it a different way another time. I don't know. I don't think so. But I'm a private person, even though here we are sharing all this stuff with you. But I like to have my downtime and my quiet time, and that's okay. And making peace with that's okay. It's okay for me, it's okay for you. Well,
it's also nice to get validation from some other pilgrims that say, this is the way you do it. There is no right way to do it. And remember that if you choose to do it in bunk beds, that's a good way to do it. If you choose to stay in private rooms, that's a good way to do it. And make reservations, stay in the lovely hotels.
Luxury. I mean, we met the second day in Roncesvalles a woman who was actually going pretty slow through it. She was going to only do a few miles a day, but she was staying at luxury accommodations, like historical kind of stuff,
like Michelin,
the Paradors and and she was going to be visiting Michelin star restaurants, and that was her Camino, and that's the way she wanted to do it, was to visit this thing in a more, well, what's here culturally, like from a high-end kind of thing to experience. So I would have loved to have stayed in the Paradors also, but they're really expensive. the really 5-star ones, so hard to justify.
So, notes from the Camino. Very pretty woods we're going through right now. Yeah, there's a wonderful silence right now in the woods. You can just hear the lightest chirping, singing of a bird in the background. Even the pilgrims seem quieter. Like, I'm grateful we don't have the big hordes. Hopefully we'll kind of avoid that. Yes, I think the Camino is a little bit like life in the sense that there's a beginning, and and the space in between is filled with people and places and experiences and things that you see along the way. So that's interesting.
It's kind of a solemn feel on the trail today.
Yeah.
I had expected it to be crowded, but it's quite peaceful walking through the woods, and it's rather quiet, and that's nice.
Yeah, pleasantly surprised that we're not inundated with tons and tons of people. So that's kind of cool, and it does feel the people that are on the trail are just on a little bit more on the quieter side. So we did start a little bit later, so maybe we missed the main crowd, but I don't think so.
And we're approaching the city, so I mean, you can start to hear planes.
Yeah, we're like 12 kilometers out.
Some city noise. but you can also hear the birds and people maybe talking a little bit more quietly. And maybe that's just what we needed, so that's the energy we're bringing around us. Who knows?
Well, we're about
Halfway.
10 kilometers outside of Santiago, and the trail does weave now more into these little suburby, well, really still small little villages kind of, but I got a feeling we're not going to get a lot more of the lovely little natural trees. Nope. 10 kilometers. Well, this is not a lightweight day. I mean, there's a fair bit of elevation on this, up the hill and big hills, and then down the hill. And now we're going back up another one. So the Camino ain't done yet. 10 kilometers, but a little less than 10 kilometers. We're still in the countryside. It's rolling hills, but you're also walking up these rolling hills. Nine kilometers out. Oop, look at that little well, we're less than 10 kilometers, probably like about 8.
5 miles.
Yeah.
5 miles to the end.
And so, yeah, it's like it's really hard to
plaza.
say what do you want to take from this, you know? I mean, it is.
There's so many different things, you know, like on a really surface level, I feel like in such good shape right now, you know?
Delicious.
And walking is free, and all you need is a good pair of shoes. And I feel like that's definitely something that I would want to change when I get back home, and that I could change, is to go walk, like regularly. We met a woman yesterday she was originally from the Philippines, but they live in Arizona now. And she was 79 years old. She looked amazing, and she was doing the last 100 kilometers with her husband, and she walks 1 hour every day, and that's what she owes to her longevity. So I think,
well, 1 hour every day, meaning not on the Camino. She's doing the Camino, but at home.
No, at home. That's what
At
she
home.
does. Is her. Look at this little guy. He's got his own little backpack. You gotta show him. He's so cute. Show him. Even the dogs carry their own backpacks here.
And he's got an arrow too.
So cute.
Hey, boss. Look at me,
him.
look at me.
So cute. I'm so proud of himself.
He
So
says,
cute.
me and boss are like,
We've seen several of those along the way, actually, carrying their own bags.
yeah, it's hard to find places.
Really cute.
It's hard to find a place with your dog. So be cautious if you're a pet lover and you're gonna bring your dog with you.
It's doable, though.
Doable, but
I kind of keep thinking about a lot of the lessons that I feel like something that came up today was, I feel like I've learned better how to discern the lies and the truth that goes on in my own brain. And because I think it's really easy to have those just constant deceptive thoughts in your head, like you're not good enough, and there's something wrong with you, and the way I do things is not the right way, and oh, my mistakes define me, and all that stuff. And those are just lies. They're just deceptive lies to make you feel bad. And why? Why do I want to keep doing that? So I feel like that's pretty loud out here. I kind of always wondered why this seed had been planted in me to do this, because it does grab hold of you and it doesn't let go, and it never has. And this is like a 15-year thing for me that I've wanted to do, that I'm about to accomplish. So it's a pretty big deal to me. And I do feel like that God plants the seed of his existence in every single one of us, and it's really up to us to open our hearts and say yes to that. I think that's what he wants. He doesn't want us to be slaves and to be obligated to him, or her, or whatever you want to call God. I kind of feel like that was a little bit of a seed that just, it was time to do it. It was time to do it, and I didn't really know why, and I feel like I know why now. I feel like I've grown closer to myself, a better connection to myself, a more positive connection to myself in my life, and what I can do, what I can accomplish, and I feel like I have a lot stronger faith in myself, in my partner, in the people in my life, in God, and just kind of giving up the fears that get in the way. Like whenever I start feeling kind of, because I can be kind of an anxious person, like whenever those start to bubble up again, those are those lies. Oh, and yeah, I need to be worried about that. Well, I'm not. No, I really don't. I don't need to be worried, you know, because I have everything that I need, and I feel pretty confident of that. There's other stuff too.
I feel it less now, but more during and closer to the beginning of the Camino, about the people that you meet being angels and are sent. And there's again, I probably mentioned it in a few of these videos, that you don't know who is sent by the gods to help you along the way. And so when maybe things aren't going your way, because you missed the angel that was sent, or could be a sign, could be a note, could be a message that you heard from somebody who said something, you read something in a book. Yeah, there's
and a really open mind. Yeah. Once you start closing it off, and then you miss it. You miss the angels. You miss the miracles. I mean, it's all a miracle. It really is. The West Highland Way, whenever we've climbed mountains in Colorado, I mean, this is my jam. I love doing physically hard things, and at the end I just feel so powerful. It's like the way I felt after I had my first child. I was just kind of in awe of myself, you know, not because I'm not.
Well,
like
she passed just about passed out, and I ended up I cried.
Not like in an egotistic way, but like in the miracle, and the, like, you can't believe that this life has come through you. And then I did it. I had all my babies with no painkillers, by the way. Which
actually, that was a real.
That was my intention. That's what I wanted. That's what worked for me. And so I was really glad that I was able to do that.
It was a real nice moment with Melissa's mom when she came in when Emerson was born.
That was pretty cool. My sister was there too.
Yeah, and Melissa's like all splayed out, and the kid comes out. Like, it was pretty cool to have the mom cry, and we were both crying. Melissa was just like, "Let me go to sleep, you know, get that thing away."
Okay, I had been laboring for 3 days.
Yeah.
I was exhausted, so exhausted that
little disclaimer.
They almost were going to have to take me to the hospital, because we were like a birthing center to do it naturally, and yeah, so anyway.
I've done pretty good. I had no drone troubles. I mean, a little bit, but not like, you know, we're crept down. Boy, it's still pretty, Melissa. Oh, I wonder if that's the first glimpse of Santiago. No?
I don't think so.
Well,
Last town.
serious?
Yeah, we can see the spires of the...
Oh. Oh, and it's got a little pilgrim too. Huh. This is like a nice little park. Yeah, that was a rather interesting young woman. She was from Valencia, and I love Valencia, so I just had to talk with her a little bit, and kind of a very, her mother just recently died, and so she's in mourning, and so she's doing this, and she taught me a new word, pipa, which is like the seeds of a sunflower. So that's a new word, pipa. Well, it's funny because in Slovenia, I think they call it pipa water when you want the water from the pipe, when you want bottled water. Goat. She said, I said, yeah, I can feel myself kind of closing down as I get closer to Santiago. It's almost like coming into real life. There's so many people. And she said, well, good, go internal and become stronger so that you can take that strength and then you can come out with your understanding. So I thought that was quite nice. And
say what she said about the sunflowers.
yeah, and because she works in the sunflower, she said that, as you well know, sunflowers will follow the sun. And then she said when there is no sun, the flowers turn towards each other to get energy.
I think that's such a great metaphor.
Yeah, like, so when times are difficult, that you turn towards each other, not away from each other. You turn towards because you're transferring energy to each other. So I thought that was pretty cool. You know, it's an interesting way to learn languages. Well, because I've been to Valencia and I did like that town. It's a really cool town. She was quite taken that I could feel it. And then I gave her a hug at the very end, just because she's, you know, her mom died, and she said, you know, when you hug somebody, her heart's over here, mine's is over here, and you hug each other, and then you make this, you complete the circuit kind of a thing. I thought that was kind of interesting. Well, something. No, because we're opposite. Well, something like that. Santiago de Compostela. Yeah. Somehow we hooked up with a big Korean group. And they're hard to beat. I think they come in large groups. Just one continuous city. Okay, I think we're finally headed towards the old town. Finally. Yeah, we're getting tired of this joy. This is your Santiago. Looks like it needs a good pressure washer again. It is Sunday. Ay, ay, ay. Kind of lost the... Huh? Yeah, it's like a real... Whew, it's tough to walk into this. It's almost like a concentration of all the problems in the world. Cute little old town. You know, kid, you better get it down. the garden? What do we get a stamp? Compostela.
I'm not sure.
What? That's a church.
Well, we made it.
I don't think they're open to give us our stamps. Let's go maybe ask over there in that building. Yeah.
You gonna get in it or not?
Oh, why don't you ask me?
Yeah.
Okay, let's just find out. Okay. Across the garden and to the left, I think. I think it's across the garden down the stairs. All right, you have to go here to the Centro International Day to get your Compostela, to get your actual stamp. And it costs, I think, like what, €3 to get it in Latin. So it's just down the way from where the church is. I like that the woman says congratulations, long way. Zeros. Here, let's take a picture, both of us. Out of nowhere, the sun just came out. Did she kind of gave you a look of like, good job, because St. John is a long way?
It was a man. I was about to cry, so he kept it tree.
He what?
Well, I was about to cry, so I couldn't say much.
That one again.